how is iron absorbed in the human body? Now, before moving on to the absorption of iron, as I've just told you, there are two types of iron. We have the non-heme iron followed by the heme iron, and I told you heme iron is up to 15 to 20% absorbed, whereas the non-heme iron, that is the dietary intake, is only absorbed 5 to 10%. So this is about the absorption. Normally whatever food we take, the iron is in the form of ferric, Fe3 plus. This Fe3 plus has to be converted to Fe2 plus. And how is it converted? By ferri reductases, as well as we have B cytochrome, and there is a certain enzyme called as STEAP3. So this is the dietary food intake in the form of Fe3 plus, and it is converted to Fe2 plus by ferri reductases, beta cytochrome and STEAP3. Okay, and this Fe2 plus is absorbed. How is it absorbed? It is absorbed in the proximal duodenum. It is absorbed in the proximal duodenum. And how? It is absorbed by DMT1, that is the divalent metal transporter. Okay, this is what the basic you have to remember. Now, if I have to draw a basic cell of the duodenum, this is the basic cell of the duodenum. This is the luminal side of it. Luminal side, I mean the side at which the food enters, that is the luminal side. And this is the basolateral side. That is from where it is absorbed into the plasma. Okay, luminal side followed by the basolateral side. This transporter that we have here is called as heme transporter. Okay, and the one here, this is called as the B cytochrome, and the one we have here, this is the DMT1. Okay, now what happens whenever we take food? It is in the form of Fe3 plus. This Fe3 plus has to be converted to Fe2 plus, and I just told you it is done by the B cytochrome. This Fe2 plus is further absorbed by DMT1 inside the cell, Fe2 plus. Now we have the heme iron, that is already in the form of Fe2 plus, so we don't have to reduce it. It will be directly transported inside through the heme transporter as Fe2 plus. So finally from the gut we have got Fe2 plus inside the cell. Now this Fe2 plus has to go into the through the basolateral side into the plasma. How does it do? This majorly goes through this transporter. What is this transporter? This transporter is known as ferroportin. Ferroportin 1. This is the transporter, and this one is called as the hepcidin. It will come out as Fe2 plus. It is then transported again, converted again into Fe3 plus. Again converted to Fe3 plus, and this Fe3 plus in the plasma, it binds to transferrin. We know what transferrin is. Transferrin is the iron binding protein, and through transferrin binding to Fe3 plus, it goes to deliver to the erythroid precursors. So this is the normal absorption of the iron. Whenever we take iron, it's in the form of Fe3 plus. It is converted to Fe2 plus by the B cytochrome. Fe2 plus is taken inside the cell by the DMT1, that is the divalent metal transporter 1 into Fe2 plus. Then we have the direct heme iron, that is Fe2 plus is entering into the cell through the heme transporter. This Fe2 plus is taken from inside to outside by the ferroportin 1, and Fe2 plus is converted to Fe3 plus by hepcidin. This Fe3 plus binds with the transferrin in the plasma and is transported to the erythroid precursors for the hemoglobin synthesis. Now, how is this entirely regulated? It is entirely regulated by the liver. How, you will tell me, how does the liver entitled to the proximal duodenum? How does it control that? It controls by secreting something called as hepcidin. Plasma hepcidin. Liver secretes plasma hepcidin, and this has direct inhibitory effort on the ferroportin. It inhibits ferroportin, degrades ferroportin channels, so that this Fe2 plus should not come into the plasma. So this is how the majority of the work is done. What is this cell? This is the duodenal mucosal or epithelial cell, you can call it. Duodenal epithelial cell. You need to know, we need to know the heme transporter, the DMT1, the ferroportin, and F18 and B cytochrome are less likely known. Okay, this is all the major absorption of the iron that you need to understand. Now let's understand a little bit of how is it majorly monitored. Okay, now we have liver.